Hello, good evening, everyone. Shifa, Prerna,
Good evening.
Dhanapati.
Good morning, sir. Good evening.
All right. I hope all of you are doing fine. So, in the previous session, everyone, we were discussing about the company accounts. And before proceeding further in this chapter, just wanted to give you a quick recap of this chapter, everything that we have already covered in this chapter. Well, first of all, let's revise the entire chapter once, and then we'll start with a new question today. All right. And in between, if you have any doubt, you can ask. So, at the beginning of this chapter, I told you we started with the basic concept of the company, wherein we tried to understand the meaning of the company. All right, wherein I told you that company is a registered entity. Company is an entity which is registered as per section 2, subsection 68 of the Companies Act 2008, 2013. We talked about various features of the company, wherein I told you that company is a body corporate. That means it is a registered association having a perpetual succession. It has its own common seal, which act as a signature for the company to validate any document. Then I told you that in case of the company, the shareholders or the members of the company are free to transfer their share to any other person. That means transferability of share is possible. And company, since it is a legal entity, so it has a power to sue and get sued by any person. Then we also covered one very important feature of the company, that company has a limited liability. Okay. Apart from this, we discuss in detail about the different kinds of company, what is limited company guarantee, company limited by guarantee, company limited by share, company which is unlimited company, public company, private company, one-person company, and we also talked about the different categories of the share capital, what is authorized capital, issued capital, then subscribe, called up, paid up, uncalled, all these things we covered. All right, and after that, we started solving question of the chapter. We discussed all these basic questions of the chapter. We started with question number 1, and I think I guess we did already 7-8 questions we have already done, right now. I think we did question number 9 in the previous class. Anyone please confirm which question number we already did in the class. Tell me. I think question number 9 was the question that I gave you for the homework, Prerna. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And were you able to solve this question?
No, sir. I have doubt in premium.
You have doubt in premium.
Yes, sir.
What is your doubt?
Sir, I'm not able to get reserve and surplus amount.
Not able to get the reserve and surplus amount.
Yeah.
Why not? Whatever the security premium reserve is there, that will be considered as the reserve and surplus. You need to prepare the balance sheet in this question. No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you want me to solve this question for you?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this question requires us to prepare the balance sheet as well as the notes to account. But I would recommend that we should start with the journal entry as well. Right? Let's start with the journal entry. Okay. Let me read this question for all of you who were not there in the previous session. Question number 9. It says authorized capital of Sarang Limited is 1,20,000 divided into 12 lakh shares of 10 each. Just a minute. I'm sorry. So it says authorized capital in this question is 1 crore 20 lakh divided into 12 lakh shares of 10 each. Out of these, company have issued 8 lakh shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of 20%. The premium in this case is 2 rupees. 10%. Face value is 10 rupees and premium is 2. That means premium is 20%. That means 2 rupees. Amount per share payable as follows: on application 2, on allotment 6 rupees, on including the premium, on first call 2, on final call balance public applied for 7,80,000 shares. Okay, all the money was duly received. Prepare an extract of the balance sheet. Okay, let's start with the journal entry first of all. However, question does not require us to prepare the journal entry. We'll still start with the journal entry. All right, so first of all, let's understand this question. It says authorized capital of this company, Sarang Limited, authorized capital is 1 crore 20 lakh divided into 12 lakh share having face value of 10 each. So authorized capital is 12 lakh of shares having a face value of 10 each. All right. It says out of 12 lakh share, company have issued 8 lakh share. So the total issued share is not entire 12 lakh shares were issued, only 8 lakh shares were issued to public. Obviously, having a face value of all the shares have the face value of 10 each, but that was issued at a premium of 20%. That means 2 rupees will be the premium. Okay. Then question further says the amount per share is 20 rupees on application. Okay, so company have decided to collect the entire amount on installment. All right, but out of 8 lakh shares, only 7,80,000 shares were actually subscribed by the public. So actually subscribed capital is 7,80,000 shares. The company will be receiving on the basis of the subscribed capital, because public have actually applied for 7,80,000 shares. The company will be collecting the application allotment first call on the basis of the subscribed capital. Let me tell you, company have decided to collect the entire amount on installment basis. So company have decided that they will be that company will be collecting on application 2 rupees on application 2 per share. Then on allotment, company have decided to collect 6 rupees per share, including premium. So premium will be 2 rupees. So that means face value of the allotment will be 4 plus 2 rupees for the premium. Then on final, on first call, rupees 2. On final call, the balance. So on first call, company will be collecting 2 rupees and balance will be called up on the final call. Final call will be of 4 plus 2 plus 2. Anyone, please tell me what will be the value of the final call? Please confirm. What will be the value of the final call? Anyone? Total value of the share is 10 plus 2. That means 12 rupees. And we have already collected 2 on application, 6 on allotment, 2 on final first call. Then what will be the value of the final call? No one is able to answer. It will be only 2 rupees. Is that clear? Is that clear? That will be 2 rupees on final call. All right. So considering this, we need to pass the journal entry. So let me first of all start with the journal entry on the application of share. You guys are writing this now along with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody, please write all these things along with me. Debit side and credit. Okay, so the first entry that will be required is for the application. On application, what is the journal entry? It will be bank account debit, right? Bank account debit to equity share application. Equity share application account. Since public have actually subscribed 7,80,000 shares, and on application company have decided to raise 2 rupees per share, that means when shares will be subscribed, company will be able to collect on 7,80,000 shares 2 rupees per share. So 7,80,000 into 2, we will be getting 15,60,000. So bank account will be debited by 15,60,000 to equity share capital, equity share application. Okay. This will be the entry for the receipt of application money. Now you'll have to pass the entry for transferring the application money to the share capital. And for that purpose, general entry will be equity share application debit. Equity share application account debit to share capital. Right? Everybody is able to understand this. Value will be 15,60,000. Prerna, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Zainab? Please confirm everyone else. Prerna, Shifa. Shifa, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the first thing that we need to do. Now we will pass the entry for the allotment. We're done with the application now. We'll move to the allotment. So in case of allotment, just a minute, let me stretch it further. The second entry will be for the allotment. First general entry will be for making the allotment due. So in order to make the allotment due, general entry will be equity share allotment account debit. Equity share allotment account debit to share capital account, right? And amount will be 7,80,000 shares. We will be collecting the allotment money at 6 per rupees, 6 per share. So 7,80,000 into 6, 7,80,000 into 6, we will get 46,000. Is that clear, everybody? This is the journal entry for making the allotment due. I hope these things are already clear to you. If anybody have any problem understanding these things, please let me. Then we will make the entry for the receipt of allotment money. That will be bank account debit to equity share allotment. To security premium reserve. Security premium reserve account. The bank account will be debited by 46,80,000. And equity share allotment will be credited by 7,80,000 shares into the face value of the allotment. Face value of the share, that was 4 rupees. So 31,20,000. And remaining amount will be credited to security premium reserve for 4,68,000. Sorry, 46,80,000 minus 31,20,000. That is 15,60,000. All right, everyone. This is the entry for the allotment. I hope this is clear, all of you. If you're having any problem understanding anything, please let me know. I'm presuming that all of you already know the treatment of the allotment. I'm assuming that all of you already know the journal entry for the application, allotment, post call, final call. All these things are already clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then moving on to the next entry, that is for the on post call. On first call, what will be the journal entry? So we'll first of all make the journal entry for making the post call due. This will be equity share first call account debit to share capital account. All right. And again, we'll have to multiply the number of shares issued with the amount of first call. Amount of first call is 2 rupees, just like application. So 7,80,000 into 2, we will be getting 15,60,000. 15,60,000 debited to equity share application and credited to equity share capital. All right, then let's start with one more entry for the receipt of first call money. That will be bank account debit to equity share first call account. Amount will be 15,60,000. This is the general entry for the first call. Then we'll move to the next installment, which is the final call. On final call, journal entry will be large journal entry that will be required to do. First of all, we'll make the final call due. And for that purpose, journal entry will be equity share final call account debit to share capital. And as you already know, the amount of final call was also 2 rupees per share. 2 rupees per share. That means on 7,80,000, company will be collecting 2 rupees per share. That will be 15,60,000 again. All right. Now this is the entry for making the final call due. And now we'll pass the entry for the receipt of final call. That is the bank account debit to equity share final call account, which will be 15,60,000. Done. This is it. All the journal entries are done. Now we need to prepare the balance sheet as well for this question. All right. Everybody, anyone having any doubt, please tell me. If anybody having any doubt, please let me know.
No, sir.
Otherwise, we'll move. No doubt. Okay, then. Let's just quickly prepare the balance sheet for this question. As I told you, that in case of the company account, balance sheet is prepared by under the company account, the format of the balance sheet is completely different. It is not same as in case of the partnership account or the proprietorship accounting. In case of the partnership account, in case of the company account, we need to prepare the vertical balance sheet, which should be as per Schedule 3 of the Companies Act 2013 that we already understood in the previous class. All right. So, anyways, let's prepare the balance sheet for this question. First of all, let's put the heading balance sheet. And we will be preparing the balance sheet for Sarang Limited. Na? We'll write down the name. Write down Sarang Limited. Particulars. Then note number and the amount of asset or liability. Okay, in this balance sheet, we will have to first of all write down the value of equity and liability. Equity and liability. And as I told you, under equity and liability, we have a separate category, one more category, which is shareholders fund. And under shareholders fund, we have an item which is share capital. All right. And we need to write down the value of the share capital that we collected by issuing the share to the public here. But for that purpose, we will have to prepare the working note, or you can also call it notes to account. And for that purpose, I'll be preparing notes to account number 1. Okay. Then under this, we will have one more item, which is reserves and surplus. In reserve and surplus, we will be writing the amount that we have collected by way of security premium. So all entire amount that has been collected by way of security premium will be written under this. But for that purpose, we'll have to show the calculation by preparing separate notes to account. Therefore, I have given a different number to it, notes to account number 2. All right. And I think there is no liabilities in it. So, all right. So this is it on the equity and liability section. And then I'll move to the next part, which is the asset segment of the balance sheet. Assets. And under the category of the asset, we have a category of current asset. Current asset. And under current asset, we record cash and cash equivalent. And in order to write down the value of the cash and cash equivalent here, we need to prepare notes to account number 3. All right. Okay, then let's do it. Let's do that quickly. Let's prepare notes to account. Notes to account. We'll first of all make notes to account number 1. Right? We will make the notes to account for the calculation of the share capital. Particulars and amount. All right, so first thing, in order to calculate share capital, first of all, we will be writing authorized capital. To calculate share capital, we'll write down, first thing that we'll write down under this is authorized capital. What was the authorized capital in the question? You remember that? Authorized capital for this question was, Prerna, or any one of you? Please tell me what was the authorized capital? It was
12 lakh.
12 lakh shares were there. 12 lakh shares having a value of 10 rupees each.
12 lakh into 10.
That means 1 crore 20 lakh.
Yes, 1
Is
crore
that right?
20. Yeah.
And after the authorized capital, we write down the issued capital. Issued capital was 8 lakhs. 8 lakh shares having a value of 10 each. That means issued share capital was 80 lakhs. Then finally, we'll write down subscribed, called up, and the value of paid up capital. So as per this question, subscribed capital is 7,80,000, having a face value of 10 each. So that means 78 lakh is the value of the share capital. Now this needs to be recorded in this needs to be shown in the balance sheet. Authorized capital, issued capital need not to be shown in the balance sheet. We'll be showing 78 lakh in the balance sheet. Now moving above from the notes to account, we'll go to the balance sheet and write down under balance sheet in front of share capital. This will be 78 lakhs as per the calculation in the notes to account number 1. All right, everyone. Then we need to find out the value of the reserve and surplus. And for that purpose, we will be preparing notes to account number 2. So I'm extending it further. Just a minute. Notes to account number 2 for calculation of reserve and surplus. In this question, we collected security premium on allotment by way of reserve and surplus. So we'll write this as security premium reserve. Security premium reserve on allotment we have collected on 7,80,000 shares. Premium was collected at rupees 2 per share, right? That means 15,60,000, and this will be shown in the balance sheet. Balance sheet under reserve and surplus, 15,60,000. I hope this is clear. Now, since we got the share value of the share capital as well as the reserve and surplus, no other item is there under the equity and liability. So we'll simply total this. Total the equity and liability section. Totaling this, we will be getting it will be 15,60,000 plus 78 lakh. This is 9,30,000, 93,60,000. Got it, everyone? Is this clear? This is how we prepare the balance sheet. This is the first section of the balance sheet, equity and liability. Then we'll move to the next part, asset section. Under asset, we need to show one item only. Under the current asset, cash and cash equivalent. So cash and cash, by cash equivalent, we mean whatever the cash that we have collected to the issue of shares. We'll have to write that down. So notes to account number 3. Notes to account number 3, cash and cash equivalent. All right. So how much cash and cash equivalent we have collected? We collected 19,30,000 cash and bank. We have collected on 7,80,000 shares. Total amount 12 per share. 10 rupees as a face value and 12 rupees, 2 rupees for the premium. So the total amount that we have collected is 93,60,000. 93,60,000. All right, and now we need to show this amount in the balance sheet as well. Going about writing this on the balance sheet, 93,60,000. And now you can notice that both the aspect of the balance sheet is same. Equity and liability have the total value of 93,60,000 as well as the asset section of the balance sheet also contains 93,60,000. And you need to ensure that both the aspect of the balance sheet should tally. Otherwise, if it is not tallying, that means we must have made some mistake while solving the question. And Prerna, Shifa, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So this is all about the question that I gave you for the homework. That this is the homework question that we were discussing. Now let's move to the next question. Let's talk about question number 10. All right. This was question number 9. Just a minute. All right. So question number 10 says Ghosh Limited made the second and final call on its 50,000 equity shares, rupees 2 per share, on 1st of January 2016. Entire amount was received on 15th of January 2016, except on 100 shares allotted to Venkat, as necessary journal entries for the call money due and received by opening calls in arrears account. Okay, so this is a different kind of question. We haven't done any question like this. earlier. So let me first of all explain this question a little. Just a moment. This question says that Ghosh Limited is a company. All right. So what Ghosh Limited have done? Ghosh Limited have made second and final call of its 50,000 equity shares. So let's assume it this way, that second and final call was due from the shareholder, and Ghosh Limited called the shareholders to pay the final call on the 50,000 equity shares. So on 50,000 equity share, Limited asked for second and final call. Amount of second and final call, or you can simply call it final call. Amount of final call was 2 rupees per share. Now, when Ghosh Limited asked for the final call, when Ghosh Limited asked their shareholders to pay the final call, all the shareholders have paid the money due towards the final call except one shareholder whose name was Venkat. Venkat did not make the payment toward the final call. In respect of how many shares Venkat have purchased 100 shares, and in respect of 100 shares, company did not receive any payment from Venkat by way of second and final call. That means 2 rupees per share is due upon Venkat. That means 200 rupees is due upon Venkat towards the final call. Now the thing is that company have asked for 50,000 equity share to pay the final call, right? Out of 50,000 shares, company received the payment from 49,900 shareholders, but only one shareholder holding 100 shares did not make the payment until 15 January 2016. And considering this, we need to pass the journal entry for the call money due. All right. So now for first thing that you need to understand, the amount which is not paid by any shareholder is considered as calls in arrear. Amount which is not paid by any shareholder toward any call is considered as calls in arrears. So like in this case, Venkat have not paid 2 rupees per share on his 100 shares. That means 2 rupees is due on Venkat, that will be considered as calls in arrears. Considering this, we need to pass the journal entry. Okay. Journal entry is very, very simple. Pay attention, try to understand how we are going to pass the journal entry. You write this down, and I want all of you to write this down in your notebooks. Solution to question number 10. We'll write down journal entry. In the books of Ghosh Limited. Okay, debit and credit. See, first entry that we will have to do is to make the second and final call due. When second and final call is due, the journal entry for that will be, anyone of you can please tell me what will be the journal entry for the second and final call due? how to pass the general entry for making the second and final call due. Any idea? All right, let me tell you. This will be written as equity share second and final call account debit to share capital or equity share capital. All right, so this is the general entry for making the second and final call due. We'll write this down as being final call made due. And by what amount equity share second and final call account need to be debited? Tell me anyone. This will be debited by 50,000 towards 50,000 shares. Company will be asking the final call for 2 rupees per share. That means equity share and equity share second and final call account will be debited by 1 lakh rupees. Is that clear? Everybody, is that clear? Shifa, Prerna, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once the entry for due is done, now we'll move towards the receipt of the final call money. And general entry for the receipt of final call will be bank account debit. Bank account debit. How much amount we will be receiving? Tell me. We have received entire amount except for the 100 shares. So that means we must have collected 2 rupees per share for 49,900 shares. Is that correct? Because towards 100 share amount is still due. Can we write that down? Is that clear, everybody? When we say that 49,000 towards 49,900 we have received final call at 2 per share, 49,900 into 2. Can we say that? Yes or no, Shifa, Prerna? That means total amount that we will be collecting is 99,800. Please confirm if this is clear, yes or no. Prerna, Shifa, if anyone have any doubt, let me, I'll be repeating, I'll repeat that for you. Anyone having doubt? Question says, out of 50,000 shares, we received all the payment towards the final call except 100 shares. So that means if 100 shares did not pay the final call, that means remaining 49,900 shares, on remaining 49,900 shares, we must have received 2 rupees per share as a final call. That is 99,800. And whatever the amount which is due towards the final call, that will be written as calls in arrears. Keep that in mind. Whatever the amount due towards the final call, that will be written as calls in arrears account. How much will be due? Sir, on 100 shares, 2 rupees per share is still due, still in arrears. So that will be written as 200. That needs to be debited as well. So you need to remember that any calls in area need to be debited. Calls in area need to be debited. Now we will pass the remaining entry for this receipt of call money. The bank account debit, calls in area account debit to equity share second and final call account, which will be credited by 50,000 into 2, which is 1 lakh. And narration can be written as being amount received for second and final call. Except 100 shares. All right, everyone, is that clear? Is that clear, everyone? This question is clear, question number 10. So through this question, we are able to understand that whenever any call in arrear is there, whenever any amount towards any allotment, any installment is due, then such amount need to be debited by opening a separate account, which will be called calls in arrears account. If any amount by the shareholders due towards any installment, that is considered as in arrears, and that need to be debited by passing the entry for the receipt of call money or receipt of any installment. Please tell me, Prerna, Shifa, Zainab, is that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I'm able to see that two students are new in today's session, Adib and Nitya. Nitya and Adib, could you please tell me how many, do you already have any idea about the company accounts? Adib, do tell me first. Do you have any idea about the company account? Do you have basic understanding of the chapter? What is issue of share? What are the different type of share? What is share capital? All these things are clear to you. What is balance sheet? And how do we pass the journal entry for the allotment application, call money? All these things are clear to you. Because if these things are not clear, I'll have to arrange a separate session for you, because we are almost 2-3 lectures ahead in this particular topic. And if you are fundamentals, if your fundamentals are not that good, I think you will not be able to understand anything in this chapter. Whatever I'm discussing, I'm presuming that you already understand the basic concept of this chapter. Please tell me, Adi, what is your status? Do you have any idea about the basic concept of this chapter? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Nitya, you already have some idea. Yeah, Adi.
Yeah, so we started this chapter a week ago.
Okay, so you have started the chapter a week ago, so you must have some basic concept, understanding of the basic concept of this chapter, na? All right, then so let's continue.
Not too much, because I didn't have much knowledge of this chapter, because when we started the chapter, I was away in Jubail for clusters.
Okay.
So
in that case, I think I'll have to arrange 1 or 2 separate sessions for you. Only then you'll be able to understand and get a grip on this chapter. Otherwise, everything will be bouncing over your head. You won't be able to understand much. All right, so I'll have to discuss with my team. I'll have to talk to my team, and the counselor will be getting in touch with you once the separate or extra classes time for the extra classes decided. They will inform you. All right, make sure you attend that session. All right. Right now, just continue with the session.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, everyone. So let's move to the new question. So this question was related to calls in arrears. Okay. So this is question number 11. This question requires us to pass the journal entry and cash book entries, prepare the balance sheet as at 30th of June 2020. Let's read the entire question once. It says Blue Chip Limited was registered on 1st of January 2021 with a capital of rupees 10 lakh divided into 1 lakh shares of 10 each. Company have issued 42,000 shares out of it, of which 40,000 shares were taken up by the public. All right, so actually company have the authorized capital of 100,000, 1 lakh, but out of 1 lakh shares, company have decided to issue only 42,000 shares. And out of that also, only 40,000 were taken by the public. And rupees 1 per share will be received on application. On 1st of April, these shares were allotted, and 2 per share was duly received on 28th Feb as allotment money. A first call of rupees 3 per share was made on 1st of March, and the call money on all shares with the exception of 100 shares was received. Okay, so there is a concept of the calls in area because 100 shares did not pay the call money. All right, the final call of rupees 4 per share was made on 1st of June, and the amount due with exception of 400 shares was received by 30th of June. Pass necessary journal entries and cash book entries and prepare the balance sheet as at 30th of June 2021. Okay, so I hope the question is clear to all of you. Right now, everybody. So let me solve this question for you just a moment. Let me simplify this question a little. It says, solution to question number 11. Guys, I want you to take the screenshot of this question so that it will be easier for you to revise. Whenever you want to refer back to the question, you will have the question available in your mobile phone or your device. Kindly take the screenshot so that you can refer back to the question. Take the screenshot. Done?
Yes, sir. Done.
Done, okay. All right, so first of all, see what this question says. It says authorized capital of this company is 1 lakh, having a face value of 10 each. All right, that means total authorized capital is 10 lakhs. Out of 1 lakh share, company have decided to issue how many shares? Issued capital is 42,000 at 10 each. And out of that as well, only 40,000 is actually subscribed. Subscribed capital is 40,000 at the rate 10 each. Okay. And then it says that company wants to raise the entire amount in installment. Company have decided to raise 1 rupee per share on application. Then company have decided to raise 2 rupees on allotment, and company is willing to collect 3 rupees on first call, and company is willing to collect remaining amount on final call. That is what question says. That means 4 rupees will be received on final call. Total should be 10 rupees. Okay. Now question also says that this company was not able to collect the and call money towards the entire share. It says when on 1st of March call money was asked, company have received the call money towards all the share except 100 share. And same happened with the final call. In case of the final call, 400 shareholders holding 400 share did not make the final call. Okay, and considering this, we need to pass the journal entry. Also need to prepare cash book. All right, everyone. So, see, I might have already told you in the previous session that whenever question requires you to pass the journal entry along with the formation of the cash book, in this question requires us to prepare the cash book as well as it also requires us to pass the journal entry. So whenever question requires us to pass the journal entry as well as it requires us to prepare the cash book, in that situation, while passing the journal entry, we do not pass any entry for the receipt of cash. All the receipt or all the receipt related transaction will be recorded directly in the cash book. We don't have to pass journal entry for the receipt of cash. So that means we will be passing all the journal entry except the receipt of application money, call money, allotment money, or final call. All right, so let me show you how that will be done. First of all, let's pass the journal entry. First general entry will be done for the application, right now, all of you, on application. Prerna, Chita, any one of you, please tell me the journal entry for the application, for the receipt of application money. Do we need to pass the journal entry for the receipt of application money? Here, since we require to prepare the cash book also, do we require to pass the journal entry for the receipt of application money? See, the journal entry for the receipt of application money is bank account debit, bank account debit, bank account debit to, bank account debit to, anyone? This will be equity share application. Equity share application. This is the general entry that we used to do, that we need to do on the receipt of application money. But since we are required to prepare the cash book as well in this question. Therefore, we are not required to pass this general entry. This general entry is not required anymore. Why not? Because we have to prepare the cash book also. So all receipt related transactions will be directly recorded in the cash book only. We don't have to pass the separate journal entry for that. I hope this is clear, all of you. Is that clear, everybody? We won't be passing this journal entry anymore. Is that clear, Chita? Prerna?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will simply pass the journal entry for the transfer of application money to share capital. And the journal entry for that, I guess you already know, this will be equity share application. Equity share application account debit to share capital account. Share capital account, and amount will be, since only 40,000 shares were subscribed and application money was 1 rupees, that means 40,000 into 1 will be 40,000. All right. I'm sure all of you can pass the narration on your own. Being share application money transferred to share capital account. That will be the narration. Then we will pass the journal entry on allotment of share. On allotment, again, we'll just pass the journal entry for making the allotment due. We don't have to pass journal entry for the receipt of allotment money. That will be recorded in the cash book only. So for making the allotment due, journal entry will be equity share allotment account debit to share capital, and amount of allotment was 2 rupees per share, and share subscribed was 40,000. So 40 into 2 will be 80,000. All right, is that clear? Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we need to pass the journal entry for the first call on first call. On first call, general entry will be equity share first call account debit to share capital account. And what was the amount of first call? Amount of first call was 2 rupees. So, sorry, 3 rupees. 40 into 3. That will be 1,20,000. Then one on final call. Entry for making it due will be equity share final call account debit to share capital account. All right, and final call amount of final call was rupees 4 per share. So 40 into 4 will be 1,60,000. All right. I hope this is clear, everybody. We just passed one entry for all the installment. We did not pass any entry for the receipt of allotment, first call, final call, or application amount. All right. Why? Because we need to prepare the cash book in this question as well. So let's now prepare the cash book and record all the amount that we have collected on application, allotment, first and final call under the cash book. Cash book. Okay, so we have received for application, it says, let me check. Yeah, on 1st of February, in the first line of the question, it says on 1st of February, these shares were allotted and rupees 2 per share were duly received on 28th February. And when was the first time it was issued? Okay, on 1st of January, it was issued. Na? So on 1st of February itself, yeah. So on 1st of January, we will be receiving on application on 1st of January. How much we are going to receive on application? We will be receiving on application 40,000. No default was made on the payment of the application money. So we'll write this as to share application account. 40,000 we will be collecting on application, because all of the shareholders will be paying the application money. Then on 28th of February, as per question, we have received the allotment money, share allotment, but we did not, okay, yeah, in case of the allotment, we received the entire amount to share allotment account. We will be receiving the complete 80,000. See, amount of allotment was how much? 80,000. So we will be collecting 80,000 and that will be debited to cash book on the debit side. That will be written on the debit side of the cash book. Then on 1st of May, as per question, we received the first call, but we did not receive the entire amount on first call. We'll write this as to share first call account. We were supposed to receive how much? We were supposed to receive on first call 1,20,000, but few shareholders, in fact 100 shareholders, defaulted in the payment of the call money, first call money. So that means on 40,000 shares, on 39,900 shares, we received three per shares. So 39,300 into 3. Instead of receiving 3 per share on 40,000 shares, we received 3 per share on 39,900 shares because 100 shares made the default in the payment of the first call. So totaling this, we will be getting 1,19,700. So instead of getting 1,20,000, we only got 1,19,700. I hope this is clear, everybody. And same happened with the post final call as well on 30th of June. Payment regarding the final call has been received, but not towards the end or towards all the shares. To share final call. So out of 40,000 shares, 400 shares, shareholders are holding 400 shares defaulted in the payment of the final call. So that means we received final call for 39,600 shares at ₹4 each. Multiplying this, we will be getting instead of 1,60,000, we only got 1,58,400. We were supposed to get 1,60,000, but because of the default of the shareholder in respect to the payment of the final call, we only received 1,58,400. Now we will total this, and totaling this, we will be getting, just a minute, 40 plus 80, this will be 120, then 1,19,700. So this is 2,39,700, and 3 lakh. All right, so 3,98,100. All right, and since there is no transaction which is recorded on the credit side of the cash book, that means that this will be considered as the closing balance of this account as on 31st of March. As on 31st of March 2011, by balance CD of the cash book, closing balance of the cash book will be 3,98,100. Now we will close the account by totaling the credit side as well. This will be 3,98,100. Alright, this is how we will prepare the cash book for this question. I hope this is clear, everybody. Prerna, Chita, Zainab. Is that clear, all of you? Is it clear?
Yes.
Am I audible, everyone? Okay. So that is question number 11, I guess. Yeah, that was question number 11. Guys, this question also requires us to prepare the balance sheet for this question. You need to prepare the balance sheet. I'm giving you the formation of the balance sheet as in homework. I want you to prepare the balance sheet for this question. I'm giving that as a homework for you. Do you think you will be able to do that? Prerna, Chita? See, while preparing the balance sheet, you need to keep that in mind that we have to show the calls in area in the balance sheet as well. And that calls in area will be recorded under the non-current liability. that will be recorded under the current liability. All right. So I'm giving you as a homework to you. I'm giving that as a homework to you. I'm assuming that you'll be able to solve it. If not, I'll be helping you in the next session. All right. Sorry. While preparing the balance sheet, just one thing. While preparing the balance sheet, calls in area need to be subtracted out of the subscribed capital. When at the time of writing down the subscribed capital under the notes to account, make sure you subtract all the area out of it and then write down the amount, whatever you get, into the balance sheet section under the share capital. Anyways, I'm giving that as a homework to you. I want you to at least give it a try, and we'll discuss that question in detail, the formation of the balance sheet in the next class in detail. I hope all of you have written this down. Done, everybody? Done, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was question number 11. Let me check if I have any other question that I can give you as a homework. All right, so this is it. No question is there that I can give you as of now as a homework to you. We'll discuss few other questions in the next class. Question number 12 is based on some other concept. We'll have to first of all understand that concept. Only then you will be able to solve the other questions of this chapter. So question 12, 13, 14, and so on. We'll be discussing that in the next class. This is it, everybody. This is it for today's session. Thank you so much for attending the class. We'll see you in the next class. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Anyone have any doubt? All right, Chitra.
No,
goodbye.
sir.
Take care. All right, Nitya. Nitya, I think I'll have to arrange